This is Make It Simple by FSDH, where we simplify everything business and money.
Hello, my name is Onyinye Ileche, and I lead the Agro-Allied desk here in FSDH Merchant Bank. We've seen Nigeria significantly try to diversify her economy away from crude oil, and there's renewed focus on agriculture, which is, of course, our traditional backbone. This shift away from crude oil has led to small and medium-sized businesses venturing into agribusiness and exports. The role of agriculture in the Nigerian economy cannot be overemphasized. And with this dynamic shift into this business, we have seen even the smallholder farmers trying to scale up so that they can meet up the rising demands in this sector. There are different types of businesses that fall under the agro-allied sector. We have the smallholder farmers who are engaged in growing agri-commodities. We have those who simply just trade in the commodities. They just buy and sell without any value addition. And then we have the processors who add some value before they sell locally or they export. And then we have the distributors. You have the ports here in Lagos and One. These commodities have to be moved from various states up country to the port, so that is where the distribution comes in and the logistics. And then we also have the packaging and then also the food processors. So basically any company that is directly or indirectly linked to agriculture falls under the agro-allied business. So these businesses face several funding challenges. I will start most especially with the smallholder farmers. That sector, or should I say subsector, is informal. So it poses a challenge on banks to build a structure around an informal sector. Smallholder farmers, small and medium-sized businesses, these are some of the challenges that they face. Accessibility to funding because of the informality in their sector. And then also we have high interest rates, especially for commercial lending. The rates are high, and for the ones who are able to access such loans, it might erode their profitability. So those are one of the challenges faced. Then also we have the perception of high risk, especially on the side of the lender. High risk in terms of climatic conditions. In the last cocoa season, we saw heavy rainfalls in countries like Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana, who are the largest producers of cocoa, and that sector was greatly disrupted because there were diseases such as the black pod disease and affected the output of cocoa. And we saw the countries who were not affected, we saw prices hike because of scarcity in the market, and that led to volatility in the market as well. And then we have other conditions. I've mentioned the climatic conditions and then the volatility. So prices can just hike suddenly and then it just drops. And then if those businesses have accessed funding and then the prices drop, they will not be able to pay back the loans that they have taken. So it's also one of the things that banks look at, the high risk that is attributed to this sector. There are specific financial products and support systems designed for allied businesses. I'll start with government funding. There's been quite a lot of government intervention into that space, and we have development banks and financial institutions who have intervened in that space. We have the likes of Bank of Industry, Nexim, Bank of Agriculture, and a host of others who have intervened in this space, and lending to these businesses come at a relatively lower rate than the regular commercial lending. FSDH has an array of products that has been tailored to suit the needs of these businesses. We have pre-export and export financing. We have the receivable discounting for those who have exported and are waiting for payment. And then we also have the stock hypothecation and a whole lot of other products that we have tailored to suit these needs of the agro-allied businesses. Access to finance significantly affects the productivity in agriculture. For the business owners, one of the main aims of setting up the business is for them to scale up, to expand, and to meet so that they can meet the rising demands in that market. And where there is no finance, which maybe in terms of working capital expenditure, productivity would shrink. So it is important for governments to come up with seamless ways in which these business owners can access funding, especially intervention that come at lower rates. That way we would see productivity increase significantly. There are a lot that agro-allied businesses can do to better position themselves for funding activities. as I mentioned earlier, that a part of that sector, like the subsector, is informal. It is important that these businesses, especially the farmers, if they intend to scale up, they need to register their businesses. You set up a business and you register it with the CAC. And if you're going to venture into exports, it is important that you get the required regulatory licensing from NEPC. And then also, it is important that they can join a cooperative or an association. There is a proper structure around cooperatives, and banks tend to lend to entities that are structured. So if business owners can join a cooperative or an association, it makes they are well positioned in the for financing opportunities from banks. Then also, it is important that they get financial literacy. A lot of companies, especially the big companies, this is part of what they do for their CSR. I know FSDH has done financial training to small businesses, startups, and even students in the past. So these businesses can take advantage of that free services to learn about financial literacy so that it enables them to be able to scale up in their businesses. It is important for the economy that agribusiness should succeed, because the role of agribusiness in an economy cannot be overemphasized. It is the backbone of the economy. If you take out crude oil from our exports, what we have is agribusiness, and this has contributed greatly to GDP. So this sector requires all the support that it can get. Government has been very focused on this sector, and recently the CBN has introduced the B-Match window, and we've seen exchange rates being stable for some time now. This enables companies to be able to plan and then also negotiate pricing with foreign buyers effectively. So it's important that the federal government also empowers the development banks, provide funding, and make it accessible, seem as easy as possible to the smallholder farmers, the small and medium businesses, so that they can also borrow at very low rates to reduce their finance costs. So FSDH serves as an intermediary to these development banks because they don't lend directly to businesses. In addition to the intervention funds, which FSDH partners with these development banks, FSDH also has its products for agri-businesses that are tailored to suit the operational needs. We have the pre-exports financing, which I've mentioned. We have the stock hypothecation. So it's not just about having products for your business operations. We will sit with you, especially for startups or small and medium size, and then we will guide you on how to expand your business, what's the tools that you require, the financial tools that you require to excel, and then also in terms of financing. If you need financing, we will work with you and structure products around your cash flow so that it can match repayments, and then also do referrals. There are other companies that partner with companies. We can link up companies that can partner with each other for expansion or for the greater good of their businesses. I have the contact details on the screen. If you're interested, if you want to start the business, or if you already have the business and you're looking for ways to scale up, you can reach out to the contact on the screen, and then we will guide you and provide financial advisory services on how to go about it. So we look forward to hearing from you, and together we achieve more.